fifth generation Audi A4 offers potent performance in S4 TDI diesel guise. As with all previous versions, this is a saloon, or as in this case, an Avant estate, that doesn't shout about its speed, despite it being faster than ever. The 3-litre V6 TDI diesel puts out 347 PS and a thumping 700 Newton-meters of pulling power, making it certain that in real-world terms it'll be quicker from point to point than the previous petrol model. There's life in diesel power yet. The S4 has quite an interesting history. It's been a fixture in Audi's range since 1991, but S4s have only actually been based on the A4 body shape since 1997. Since then, every generation version of this model has been available as a saloon or Avant estate, but Audi has continually changed its mind about the kind of engine this S model should have. A 265 PS 2.7-litre twin-turbo V6 was used in the B5 series model that sold until 2003. Then B6 and B7 series models fitted with a 344 PS 4.2-litre V8 engine took up the baton until 2009, when a 333 PS supercharged 3-litre V6 B8 series design arrived. Now that car sold until 2017, when it was replaced by a B9 series car that also used a 3-litre V6, though this time it was turbocharged rather than supercharged and put out 354 PS. Then in 2019, that B9 series model was refitted beneath the bonnet with the mild hybrid 3-litre TDI diesel unit that features on the car that we're going to test here. The one main thing that all previous S4 models have shared is discreetness. Unlike some rivals, this Audi has never shouted about the level of performance it offers. There might be extra exhaust pipes, subtle badging and some attractive alloy wheels, but Ingolstadt has always avoided bulging arches, vents and in-your-face body kits. And so we come to this current S4 TDI model. It was a brave step to fit it out with diesel power. How does this version stack up to its predecessors? The switch to diesel is clearly the headline here, and quite a TDI unit it is, with mild hybrid electrical tech and prodigious pulling power. There's 700 Newton meters of it. That's 200 Newton meters more than the previous 3-litre petrol unit could muster. So, much more grunt, which amply compensates for a marginal drop in power over that outgoing petrol power plant. There's now a 347 PS total output, down from 354 PS. That's good enough to get this car from rest to 62 miles an hour in just 4.8 seconds, which is only a tenth slower than the previous 3-litre TFSI V6 petrol variant could manage. Top speed, as before, is artificially pegged at 155 miles an hour. The TDI engine utilises a large turbo, which is partly driven by a little electric compressor as well as exhaust gases. Audi claims that this setup minimises the effects of turbo lag, with the system being automatically activated whenever the requested engine load exceeds the capabilities of the turbocharger. But it's a diesel. Is that an issue when it comes to the all-important noise a powerful mid-sized sporting model like this should make? Well, it certainly sounds strange when you go full throttle, particularly if you've used the Drive Select Drive Mode System's individual menu to tailor the engine sound to the loudest pronounced setting. Some will find the orchestral accompaniment deep-chested and satisfying. For others, the effect will be like a tractor on steroids. Ultimately, it's a matter of personal perception. Anyway, to go with this model's change of engine, Audi has upgraded this car in a number of other areas, adding in progressive steering, refining the sport suspension, and incorporating a revised chassis platform, which controls the car's quattro four-wheel drive system. The transmission remains an 8-speed Tiptronic auto unit, but this setup's impressively quick reacting and smooth. Not quite so good is the lowered S Sport suspension, which will be rather over firm for some. though you can improve it by paying extra for a CDC continuous damper control system. This can be tweaked via the settings of the standard Drive Select driving dynamics system I mentioned earlier, with its efficiency, comfort and dynamic settings. Plus there's auto if you can't make up your mind, and individual if you want to set your own drive system, steering and engine sound parameters. As well as these, the Drive Select modes can also influence the optional Quattro Sport differential system, which constantly varies the amount of drive to each of the rear wheels for extra cornering traction. To look at this S4 model externally, you'd be hard pushed to know how potent it is. The single frame grille comes in S-specific form and features a twilight grey matte finish and dual aluminium struts, plus there's an S4 specific bumper. From the side, most S4 models get the now traditional aluminium look mirror housing, so they've been replaced here on this black edition by matte black finishing. Plus big 19-inch wheels. We've got 19-inch 5-spoke V-style rims here. And perhaps you might pick up the fact that this S4 has sport suspension that makes it 23mm closer to the ground than a normal A4. This Avant estate model measures in at the same length as the alternative saloon, just under 4.8 metres, but is 29mm taller. At the back, S4 specific giveaways include an S rear diffuser in twilight grey matte, an S rear spoiler and S specific dual branch tailpipes with twin oval pipes on the left and the right. Under the skin there's still the same stiff, sophisticated MLB Evo platform that all modern Volkswagen Group models of this size are built upon. The exterior may be very much an evolution of previous generation S4 models, but the interior is a lot more avant-garde. There's a flat-bottomed S4 badged leather-stitched steering wheel, matte brushed aluminium inlays for various trim panels, and predominantly black fabrics and trim everywhere else. And there are S Super Sport seats in Napa leather that hold the driver tighter than a regular seat. They also have a massage function too, plus they're heated and electrically adjustable. The 12.3-inch Audi Virtual Cockpit Instrument Binnacle screen is standard, as is this 10.1-inch MMI Navigation Plus with MMI Touch infotainment package. It incorporates 3D navigation, voice control, a 10-speaker Audi sound system, a DAB tuner, and a range of Audi Connect infotainment services. Take a seat in the rear and two adults will be very comfortable. A trio of folk, less so. That's partly because of this centre transmission tunnel, which is strangely prominent for what is, after all, primarily a front-wheel drive model. Out back, there's a 505-litre boot in this Avant model. It'd be 480 litres in an S4 saloon. Use these sidewall catches to push forward the 40-20-40 split rear backrest and you'll free up 1,510 litres of space. You'll need a budget of just under £50,000 for your S4. There's a choice of 3 S4 trim levels: Standard, Black Edition, which is what we have here, and Top Vorsprung. Audi's pricing pitches this car into direct competition with similarly potent but petrol-powered segment rivals like BMW's M3 4TI xDrive and the Mercedes-AMG C43. If it's the Audi you want and the asking price is agreeable, the first question that you need to ask yourself is whether you prefer your Teutonic Express as either a saloon or, for £1,400 more, an estate. While the saloon may be a little lighter if you're going for subtle speed, an estate like this one seems the more obvious choice. Either way, for your money, even with standard S4 spec, you get S Sport suspension, 19-inch wheels, LED headlamps, LED tail lights, and a range of S-specific styling cues, including model-specific bumpers, plus leather sports seats inside and a lovely stitched flat-bottom sports steering wheel. As with any Audi, it's all too easy to bump the price up by a 5-figure sum if you option stuff in like the sports rear differential and a head-up display. It might be worth considering the comfort and sound pack we have here though, which includes keyless entry and a gesture boot opening system, plus an extended LED multicoloured interior lighting pack, a 360-degree surround view camera system, and a 19-speaker, 755-watt Bang & Olufsen audio setup. A retractable tow bar might also be a must-have option for you. At least you shouldn't have to pay out for additional safety features. On top of everything that we've come to expect, there's adaptive cruise control with traffic jam assist, so the car almost drives itself up to 40 miles an hour. For when you are in full control, there's park assist, a cross-traffic warning system, plus autonomous braking. This S4's new mild hybrid diesel engine uses a 48-volt belt-driven alternator starter, a 0.5 kWh lithium-ion battery pack, and an energy recuperation system. Audi claims exemplary fuel economy thanks to a revised engine control unit which shuts off the combustion engine when coasting at speeds between 34 miles an hour and 99 miles an hour. An S4 Avant TDI manages a WLTP rated combined cycle fuel return of up to 39.8 miles to the gallon and a WLTP rated CO2 reading of up to 186 grams per kilometre, which is pretty impressive for a sports estate capable of getting to 62 miles an hour in under 5 seconds. The S4 Saloon in TDI form manages 40.9 miles to the gallon and up to 181 grams per kilometre of CO2. The engine management system decides in every situation whether coasting, freewheeling or recuperation, that's recovery of kinetic energy, is most efficient. It does this using information from the navigation system and the onboard sensors. The energy recovered by the water-cooled belt alternator starter during coasting and braking flows into the 48-volt storage unit or directly to the electrical consumers. When the driver presses the accelerator pedal again, after a coasting phase or a stop, the water-cooled belt alternator starter restarts the combustion engine. Your S4 can be more proactively efficient if you pay the extra to have it fitted out with a predictive efficiency assistant setup that comes as part of the adaptive cruise assist system. Predictive Efficiency Assistant really is very clever, constantly gathering navigation data, camera images and feedback from the built-in Car2X message system that receives car swarm feedback from other similarly equipped vehicles. Using all this, the software can then contribute to a more economical driving style. For example, instructing you when to release the accelerator before entering a curve or behind a slower vehicle, for instance. Get onto the highway, and with the adaptive cruise control system activated, Efficiency Assist will automatically make all the frugal driving adjustments for you. We'll finish by covering the warranty. Most cars in this class get 3 years of cover, but whereas rival brands BMW and Mercedes don't limit your mileage in this period, Audi rather meanly restricts you to 60,000 miles. Optional extra cost packages can extend the cover to either 4 or 5 years. The Audi S4 is a car that makes sense in such a wet country as ours, particularly in its latest TDI diesel form. With all-wheel drive traction and a whole raft of electronic safety measures, it's effortlessly secure, offering less of the heart-in-mouth moments that often accompany a combination of big power, damp roads and an enthusiastic approach. That's not to say the S4 is a fuddy-duddy that's forgotten how to entertain. Learn to drive the car properly and you'll be able to use more of that power more of the time than you ever thought possible. It's so addictive that only the realization of quite how much fuel you burnt per session could possibly quell the temptation to repeat ad infinitum. All of this will appeal to many people out there, as will the switch made here to diesel power. A sensible yet quick and capable transport for 5 people, this S4 remains tough to beat.